Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the vlog. I'm going to immediately apologize for bad lighting because I'm just sitting in front of my desk and I do not have my overhead light on. But this is going to be my vlog for, November 14th through the 20th? Yes, that sounds correct. And so it is November 14th at about 10:50, and currently right now I am just waiting for my cousin to be dropped off, my little 2-year-old cousin, because I am babysitting him today. I babysit him every weekend, so I always feel like I always start the vlog mentioning him and ending the vlog mentioning him, because like I did that last week. But so today I am just currently editing my video. It is about a little over halfway edited, and I will do more of that until he gets here, and then when he takes a nap I'll edit it more. But currently, for what I am reading, or what I'm going to be reading, I'll talk about the physical book that I'm going to start in a little bit. But currently I'm reading Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong, and I am at the 53% mark. I don't know what chapter that is. Chapter 20 something, I think. And I'm really enjoying it. If you do not know what this book is about, I feel like I've explained this book 100 times over. Well, the first book in the series, because I talked about it about 100 times last month, and now I feel like 100 times this month. So I should have this down pretty much, but I still feel like I will fuck up the premise of the book. But essentially we are in 1926 Shanghai, China, and we follow, well, one of the characters we're following is Juliet Kai as she moves back to Shanghai from New York after 4 years, and when she does so, she ends up having to kind of team up with her ex/enemy Roma, who is the heir to the White Flowers, and Juliet is the heir to the Scarlet Gang, and there are two opposing gangs in Shanghai, and Roma and Juliet have to work together to figure out who is responsible for this monster that is wreaking this illness across the city, causing people to die. And Our Violent Ends takes place, is it 4 months later, and tensions are still at the high, and there's just so much going on. And I'm really enjoying Our Violent Ends. I'm enjoying it more than These Violent Delights, which is the first book, which is what I just explained. So yeah, that is the book that I'm that I'm reading ebook. How you'll tell if I'm reading a book ebook or physical book is physical book. I'll hold it up. Ebook will be a photo somewhere on the screen if I remember, or audiobook, but because I have an audiobook started. But yeah, but I will be starting a different ebook tonight, maybe. City of Shattered Light by Claire Wynn, and essentially it is like a sci-fi where we have this one person whose sister's consciousness ends up getting put into like an AI thing, and then the character runs away to like the outskirts where we have this like other person that's a smuggler, and those two have to like come together to do something, and that is a very horrible explanation. I'll get you a better explanation once I start reading it. And yeah, I probably won't update until my little cousin is at his nap maybe, and then I might, or when he's gone, which I don't know what time that even will be. And yeah. Okay, so it's 8:22, and my cousin like just left here a few minutes ago. So I started City of Shattered Light, which what I kind of explained before, but I'll go in a little bit more. Is essentially we have Asa, who she is like the daughter of this like rich and famous like tech person, and her sister's consciousness ends up getting like not uploaded into this thing, but kind of, and then Asa steals it so that, because essentially her sister's consciousness, once it's uploaded, can be manipulated and changed so that, like, let's say she's disobedient, it will rewire her brain to be obedient type thing, and Asa doesn't want this, so she steals that piece of tech away with her like sister's consciousness, because it's a small thing, and ends up fleeing, and she ends up on this planet called Requiem, which is where our second character of Riven is. And essentially Riven is kind of like a smuggler and a thief, and she and her group of people, they owe this person a lot of money, or essentially like to get, I think it's either that or it's to get a higher ranking in like the Requiem, like underground gang world, like something like that. That's still a little blurry, but that's kind of the gist of it, and I am enjoying it, although not as much as I hoped. But again, I am 20% in, and essentially Asa, because she's running away, she's just kind of crashed the like spaceship essentially that she was on, crash landed on to Requiem. But I was gonna start a physical book, but I literally, my eyes are just like, I just want to crawl into bed. I'm not going to, well, I'm going to crawl into bed and reading a little bit of Our Violent Ends and City of Shattered Light. Those are two completely different books type thing. One is a historical fantasy, the other is a friggin' futuristic sci-fi. So I can easily do that. I also need to write more in my book because I am doing Nano, although I am definitely not hitting 50,000 words. I'm at like 14,000, I think, not even. And it's the 14th. I'm writing about 1,000 words a day, give or take. So I'm lucky to hit 30, although I will strive to get as close to that 50 as I can. So expect little updates of that. So yeah, I will update in the morning or the afternoon sometime. I'm not entirely sure. Tomorrow and Tuesday are my last 2 days off of work, unless the breaks continues, because, well, I'll talk about that if it happens. Oh, so apparently my cat wants to say hi. Say hi, vlog, and hi, unmade bed. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna go cuddle that monkey and then read. Okay, so it's almost 3 o'clock on Monday here, and things have happened. So I've now read to 70% of City of Shattered Light, and it is like really good. It definitely isn't what I kind of expected it to be, although it is at the same time. I like really am enjoying it because the way it's like sci-fi, heist, thieves, and all of that, which is a setting that I didn't know I needed. I love this setting, and like we're on this like planet that has these very long days, like I think it's 154 hour long, well, 154 hour nights, and so like imagining everything, like it's like I don't know, and like right now currently our characters are at this like futuristic nightclub, and I'm like, I'm sorry, this just the images that I'm imagining are really good. The characters, I do really like Riven. Like, she is like a very good character. She's badass, she knows how to fight. Asa, I'm like iffy on her. Like, I like her, but I don't love her. But then there's a few actions that I'm like, okay, girl, you shouldn't have done that. And then, okay, a cinnamon roll character, like, I don't care if he is a cinnamon roll character or not. I just like imagine him, and he seems like a cinnamon roll character of Ty. I just like absolutely, I'm like, protect him with all costs. So yeah, and like I'm just like I think it might be at most, I think, a 4-star. I don't think I can give it more than 4 stars, just because the plot's a little bit like all over the place a little bit. Like, I will say characters are good, atmosphere, like the atmosphere and like all that's good, but then the plot itself is meh. I will be using Compile to write this because I don't trust my own rating. And then I do also need to film, I have 4 videos I want to film today. I want to film at least 2 of them, bare minimum 1, but 2 preferably. So yeah, can you tell I've been crying? Because I literally just finished Our Violent Ends, and tears are literally still falling down my face. That ending. Spoiler for Our Violent Ends, the last chapter / the epilogue. So skip 30 seconds if you don't want to hear a spoiler, but the story ends like the original play, where in the original play, Romeo and Juliet both die, in the book, Roma and Juliet die. I was saying the whole book, I was like, let's have it be a happy ending instead of a sad ending. Let's have them, like, run off and be together. So I am now imagining my own ending of how there's this explosion that they die in. I'm in my head, they survived that and they ran off and they just let everybody think they died. That's my fucking, like, head canon of, like, it's not canon, but, like, it could be type thing. So, yeah. So I'm good, I'm fine. I'm, like, not, like, I think I'm giving this book a 4-star because as much as I liked it, there's just a few things that was a little off, and, like, also, no, 3.5 I think, because it's almost a little too political for me, and there was a good part of the book, no, 4, yeah, 4, thinking of, like, I love these characters so much. I love the atmosphere, the plot, meh, the political aspects, meh, 4-star, I think. I definitely love Our Violent Ends more than These Violent Delights, like 100%, I can say that with 100% certainty, so yeah. But I'm going to add this book and a couple others to my spreadsheet, and then I'm going to film. I'm planning on filming my mid-month wrap-up, the end-of-year book tag, and Kaylani from Kaylani Simply Me just did a challenge of the A to Z, what did she title it? I don't remember. The A to Z book scavenger hunt tag, and I'm 100% going to do that here. Essentially where you find books on yourself that match every letter of the alphabet, and I'm like, I probably don't have that, but let's see. So yeah, I'm going to go cry, I feel like, but I'm going to let those emotions sink in. I just filmed 3 videos, literally books stacked to my hip to put away. Like, I don't even dare pick this pile up. Like, I'm talking, yeah. So I'm gonna go put that shit away, and then I'm not gonna start a physical book tonight because it's already 7:30 and I'm exhausted. So yeah, I will probably see you in the morning. Okay, so it is almost 3 o'clock on Tuesday, and I've done really nothing today. I've done a little bit of my schoolwork, but I also started decorating for Christmas, and I will share what it looks like after it's completely done. I need to run to the store tomorrow to grab things. I would do it today, but I don't want to get dressed. I'm literally still in my pajamas, and also it is, like, windy as all hell out there. Like, I'm talking, I think it was like 55 kilometers an hour, whatever that is in miles an hour, I think is what it was. And so I don't want to go out in that. Also, it's just a few things, plus I work tomorrow, so I'll just swing by the store after work. Because today is my last day off of work unless anything changes, although so far that's still the plan. I finished City of Shattered Light by Claire Wynn. I'm giving it a 3.5 because as much as I liked it, it felt very all over the place, very rushed. Although that epilogue does have me thinking it's going to be at least a duology, and I'm scared, because, like, what happened to the one character, I don't want to say which one, but, like, I cried, because there's a character that we thought died, turns out they didn't. There's a little spoiler, but I'm not going to say which character, or anything like that, but, yeah. I need to add that to my spreadsheet and all that, and I also started Raven Song by TJ Klune. I read the first chapter this morning. Don't ask me to explain that. I literally have no idea what's going on, really, because it's the second book in the Green Creek series, but it's not one solid story. It's, in the first book we follow, like, the people in the second book are, like, people that we met in the first book and that were active in the storyline of the first book, but they're now getting their own story. And I am very excited to read it. I'm buddy reading this with some people, although like half of us haven't started it, and we started buddy reading it on Sunday. Oops, I do plan on getting that. Like, read this week, as well as a couple other books. Right now I'm just kind of tired. I need to edit my video. I already have the description edited. I just need to edit the thumbnail and then the video itself. And yeah. So I've read up to page 66 of The Raven King by Nora Sakvik, which is the second book in the All for the Game series, which the first book being The Foxhole Court, which I could grab to hold up for you, but I'm not going to. But essentially this, we follow Neil, who gets offered this opportunity to play Exie professionally before college, and Exie is kind of like, it's lacrosse but more violent, and add a few elements from a few other things to it, and boom, you have Exie. And Neil is hesitant to agree to join this team, but he does, even though it means that people from his past might get dragged up, and he's been on the run for a few years from these people. And yeah, and this is like, it's obviously like a sports, like a contemporary sports series with, it has like mafia undertones and just crime-ish as well, like in there with that mafia tones, and found family, and like, this is a reread for me. I gave this 5 stars. It already looks like it's going to be 5 stars again. I love these characters. I love their dynamic, and just this story is so unique, and it's like, I love it so much. So yeah, 66 pages in, or 20%, or that much. And like, I'm gonna quickly show you how much I love this series. Is I bought alternative dust jackets for this. So like, if that don't show you how much I love this series, is I've never bought alternative dust jackets for any other series ever besides this one. And it's mainly because these ones have characters on it. This one doesn't. But I am going to go. I don't know if I'm going to read Raven Song or if I'm going to pick up a different book. I know there's a book that I have an orc due today that I haven't started, so I might start that because it's a short book. If I do, I'll talk about it some more. If I don't, I'll just continue Raven Song, but I'm not really sure. Okay, so it is 10 o'clock on Wednesday. I forgot what day of the week we were on. And first day back at work, and I've already been called out of work because there's a huge snowstorm, to the point that yesterday the power flicked in and out a few times, and it's continued on to today. So my work was like, yeah, you don't need to come in because we're like expecting nobody to show up. Which I'm okay with. I'm completely okay with that. I did start Court of Dragons by Frost K last night because I had an arc that was due yesterday. But I started it yesterday. Technically it's within like, I think 72 hours of the book being released. The arc is due, or you're at risk of not being able to get the next one. But I'm not really worried about that too much. But essentially Court of Dragons, we follow, I don't know much. I've read the description. That still doesn't help me, and I've read the first 19%. But essentially, we have Ren, who is the daughter of the king of this country. Well, technically the stepdaughter. And on the day of her wedding, when she's supposed to marry the love of her life, the wedding gets attacked, and that's kind of like all we're at. And essentially, she's like, the wedding is attacked by the elf prince? The elf prince, I think? Or like, yeah, the elf prince. Because Ren's father didn't pay some money that he was supposed to or something. And that's kind of to get, like, the attacking the wedding is kind of like payback almost. That's pretty much all we're done. But literally, I shit you not, like, I love how Frost K is able to get you so, like, this is a short book. It's 300 pages and I'm already 20% in. And, like, I already love Ren. Like, she seems like the type of character that I love. But also, like, the the mother, for example, there's a really nice moment with the mother that made me immediately be like, oh my god, I love the mom. And then even the fiance of Ren, like immediately, like you only saw him on a couple pages and was immediately like, oh, you seem like a sweet person. And also this book has dragons. Like you have like kind of like almost like dragon companions. So like Ren has this dragon with like these like, I think it's like kind of like sea colored scales named Aurora, and it's like I'm in love with it already. Like I'm in love with it already. Like I knew I was gonna love it, but again, I really just enjoyed this book so far, and I will definitely be continuing it on tonight. I also will be reading some of Raven's song today. I just don't know when. I mean, so yeah, I'm just going to literally start uploading my video to actually, maybe can I actually have a video uploaded before noon? Maybe. So yeah, I really need to kick my butt in the gear with my schoolwork, because I am like a month behind, and like I thought in the 2 weeks I had off of work I would be able to catch up, but oh no, I think I stayed on track. I didn't fall behind more, I stayed on track to be a month behind. So yeah, I will update as the day goes on, and yeah. Is it wrong that I don't remember the last time I vlogged? Was it this morning? Yes, it was this morning. So today I finished a book. Okay, so I finished Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab this afternoon, and that is the second book in the Cassidy Blake series, which is essentially, it's like a middle grade paranormal-ish ghost story where we follow Cassidy Blake, who travels to these various different cities with her parents, who do these kind of like ghost TV show thing, and Cassidy can see ghosts, and essentially she has to kind of like, she's in Paris and is trying to, how do I word this, is trying to help a ghost move on type thing into the veil, as it's called. It's essentially like type thing, and I give it 3.5 stars. I did really enjoy it. I listened to this audiobook. I think I've already mentioned that, but the audiobook is really good. I do really enjoy the story. This is like one middle grade series that I really like, and I do kind of want to read Bridge of Souls, so I might read that in December, or yeah, maybe, because I don't know if it's the last book in the series or there's going to be more. I'm not sure on that, but that would get me fully caught up with that series, so I might. And then I read to page 155 of The Raven King, and I'm loving this book so much. I can't really say much. Everything I want to say is spoilers, but I've said this with every time I've talked about any book in the series, is I've forgotten how much I love this book. And also, one thing you can tell about this writing is there are, like, I kid you not, like 10 pages, for example, of just straight the characters playing Exie, and I can sit through that and just, it doesn't feel like 10 pages. It feels so quick, and it's so, it's just so, like, entertaining. And then there's also, like, sometimes, like, there's large info dumps of, like, characters' backstories, but I've gotten so invested with these characters that reading their backstories, even though I already know them, it almost adds another level of, you're like, oh my god, that thing that you've mentioned in the backstory, we learn more about even more, so it makes it more emotional type thing, or like a thing that was said in this is kind of like, oh, I know how that single line plays out, and I love that. That's why I love rereading books. But yeah, I'm going to continue reading Court of Dragons, and I'm planning on getting a good chunk, maybe hit like the 50% mark, give or take. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all like I have to say. Okay, so it's 8 a.m. Well, no, it's 8:30, and I have a package. This is my Bonnet Fate mini box, and it's gonna feature Bonnet Fate by Beck Michaels, and I'm wanting to open it on camera because I opened the first box on camera back in, it was one of my vlogs in July. Or was it my last vlog of June? I don't remember. But this costed me like $70. And like I am so freaking excited for it. Yeah, and this is a, like, book box for God and Fate by Beck Michaels. It is a, like, YA fantasy, a little thing. From dawn until dusk, my heart and my mind are filled with you, and it always will be you. Aww. Oh fuck, camera battery's dying, so you have to do this quick. So again, this, which is, it has what's on the back. Camera's dying. So I will quickly remove the tissue stuff. Okay. So then there's this art print of two of the characters. This is by Morgana. Oh. I know who the fuck this is by, but I can't fucking say the name. This is of two of the characters of Dinah and Cassiel. I'm going to keep this spoiler art for myself. It is spoiler art of chapter 55 in the book, and I think I know what this is gonna be, but I'm gonna keep this to myself. And then we have a little double-sided bookmark that says, "They were the sun and the night, and the meeting in the twilight." And then we get to the book, which is covered in bubble wrap and the thing. So it has, this is like the standard cover, but it has these beautiful red sprayed edges. This is the first book that I own that officially has like sprayed edges. And it has the author's, it's signed by the author. And it has the most gorgeous, like, painted hardcover. And again, it's of the two characters, Cassiel and Dinah, and I freaking love them. And on the back it says, "It was a kiss made of sunlight and wishes and unyielding impossibilities." Oh, I love it. So that's what was in the mini box. So I'm now going to take photos of this for Instagram. And like, I literally love that book so fucking much. It's like one of my top 10 books of the year. One of my, like, it's part of one of my favorite series. So if you haven't checked it out, first book being Divine Blood, literally go do it. You are about to enter this beautifully written fantasy world that is going to be like, I think it's going to be like 7 books long, plus there's like a prequel series, like a prequel book coming out that might be turned into an entire series, and then maybe like more. Like, it's going to be huge, and like, I'm on for this journey the whole time. So yeah, I'm going to like freak out about this shit, open that spoiler art, and then yeah, because my camera battery is literally like flashing as if to say hurry the fuck up. But this is one way to start the morning that's gonna get me excited. Literally, I was in the kitchen making my coffee. My dad like opens the door and goes out for a smoke and sees a package, and he's just like, "Oh, a package." I bolted across the living room like, I need that thing now. I'm so excited. This is definitely worth the money for the book alone, let alone the few art prints. So yeah. Okay, so this is not what I wanted to film, but I'm wanting to, in these vlogs, keep it as real as possible of how I'm feeling and what I'm doing. And right now, I'm doing nothing. I just feel so like physically and emotionally drained. I literally don't know what to do. Like, I should be doing my schoolwork, and I'm behind on that, and I'm stressed out about that. But I just don't have the will to do it. Like, I just don't want to do it. I just can't bring myself to do it because I'm just so emotionally and physically exhausted. But also, I can't, like, I'm physically exhausted, but I can't bring myself to take a nap, for example, because then I'll wake up from that nap and think, oh my god, in the last hour you could have done X, Y, Z, A, B, C, why didn't you? But then if I stay up for that hour and do nothing, I'll feel the same way. And then I just like, I should be doing things like other productive things, but I just like I'm literally like, I just don't feel like doing anything. Like, I'm literally still in my pajamas. I haven't gotten out of pajamas in 3 days. I've changed to a different pair of pajamas, so at least that's a good thing. But like, it's my like seasonal depression, but I'm just like, my seasonal depression is kicking me in the ass. I always get depressed in the winter months. And I always have gotten way more depressed in the winter months compared to like the summer months. I think it's because it's also like I wake up and it's dark a lot of the time. Like, I wake up at 8:30 and the sun rises at like 8:30. So wake up with the sun, and then by 5 o'clock the sun's setting, and I hate that. Literally, I kid you not, I was just in the bathroom having this thinking with myself, which is what I'm saying now essentially, but I literally, like, I think I'm literally just gonna spend all afternoon reading, because that is the only thing I want to do. I need to like get out of my own head and into another character's, and like I have a very, like, I hate to say it, almost like an unhealthy relationship with reading and writing. Really, I have an unhealthy relationship that I need to fix, and that next year I'm going to try to fix. I'm too fucked in the head right now to try to do it sooner, but starting next year, I'm going to try to fix that unhealthy relationship, which like pertains to me always needing to be reading multiple different books and needing to be in multiple different characters' worlds, just so that I can not focus on my life and be able to focus on, like in this case, I have 2 books that I'm currently actively reading. I'm in those 2 characters' lives, I'm in those 2 stories, and I'm not in my own. And like, I shouldn't like, there's different things between enjoying reading and like physically not being able to not read. And it's a whole thing. I might make an entire video about that. Hey, that's a Bookmas idea if I want to do that. I'm also debating if I'm going to do 12 days of Bookmas. That's something we need to figure out. I know that Becca from the Becca Fable is doing sprints tonight, so I am going to be actively watching those and like getting, hopefully that might get my energy up and my want to do things up. But like literally, I was even like, I'm literally sitting here halfway through a YouTube video, and like, it's a video I want to watch, but I'm literally sitting there like, I don't want to do anything. Like, it's also, I think, my like, I don't know, like I have these highs where I need to be doing everything, and then I have these lows where I don't want to like leave this chair, but then I'm bored from just sitting around. And it's a weird thing, and like, it's a whole thing I need to figure out, and I'm trying to figure out on my own. But yeah, I'm going to read more Between the Raven King today and Court of Dragons, which I am enjoying Court of Dragons a lot. It's definitely taken like twists and turns that I didn't think. And like, it's good. It's like, it's gonna be like a 4-star. I don't think it'll be more than a 4-star. But I really do like Ren as a character, and I'm very curious to learn a little bit more about Auric, who is the second character that we're seeing point of view from. Like, we've seen his point of view a few times, not nearly as much as Ren. But I'm very excited to learn more about him, because there was something that was said in the last chapter that I read. I can't remember which chapter it was. Was it chapter 20? The end of chapter 20, I think? And I'm like, I'm sorry, what do you mean by that? I have like an hour left of reading that book. I'm at 60%, so Kindle is saying like an hour left for reading, so I'll probably get that done this evening. So I made it to page 248 of The Raven King by Nora Sakvik, and again, I'm loving this. I'm having it. I've like, again, this is just a series, and it's like this, I don't know, it almost like nothing happens, but then everything happens, and I just, I love this. So yeah, I'm not really going to talk about it more. I am going to finish Court of Dragons tonight. I am going to probably read some of Raven's Song, because I'm so behind on that buddy read. Pretty much I have to finish the book by Saturday to complete the book with everybody else. And then I want to write more because I'm like halfway through a scene that I'm really excited for. And like, I think this is going to be my longest chapter yet. It's going to hit like 3,000 words, and like previously the longest chapter was like 2,500 words. And I blame that because I am currently writing smut. Which those scenes are always long and detailed, and then in editing you cut out a lot of the words and you like actually make it feasible and actually like digestible instead of wordy and just at least that's what I do at least. But I'm going to crawl into bed, read, and I'll let you know in the morning how much I read and all of that. So yeah. Okay, so I haven't vlogged today. I have a lot to update on. So last night I finished Court of Dragons by Frost K. I'm giving it 4 stars because it was a very quick paced read. The characters were enjoyable. The plot was iffy. The plot was like there, but it's almost like what plot? And it's definitely a setup for book 2, which doesn't come out until November 2022 according to Amazon, and I hate that because I genuinely want more of this because it is like enemies to lovers, arranged marriage, but like you don't see them grow close, but you like know they grow close, and it's weird. It's like weird, but I love it. And then the very ending, spoiler for the ending, it's like she ends up escaping the castle and then working with this rebellion, but the person that she's escaping, who is her husband, knows that she's escaping and is like okay with it, and knows that she's with the rebellion and is like okay with it, and it's part of his plan for her to like, I'm like, the fuck? But I really like Ren, and like she's honestly like a badass in her own ways. And then I really like I say the secondary character because we do see his point of view, like the secondary character that we see the point of view, and also Ren's like arranged marriage, like her arranged husband, Arik, who is like, it's weird, it's like you want to hate him, but then you realize what his plan is, and then you're like, wait a minute, this could be good if XYZ ABC happens. Because like the whole thing, I did really enjoy it. And then this morning I read, well, yes, this morning, the last like 24 hours are a blur, it feels like, but then this morning I read the first like 5 or 6 chapters of Raven Song. I made it to 20%. I'm really enjoying it because, so Raven Song is the second book in the Green Creek series by TJ Klune, the first book being Wolf Song. And in Wolf Song we see the point of view of a character named Ox, and like his, like the start of the story. But then in Raven Song we go back, we're in a different character's point of view. We're in the character of Gordo, and we're seeing his childhood and how as it leads up to the things that happen in Wolf Song. But then also we simultaneously, then we go back and forth between Gordo's childhood and how like he met the people that he meets like the Bennett family and how he gets involved in that. But then we also see the point of view of, there's 3 years in the first book that Gordo and a few other characters are gone, and we're seeing that, and that honestly, I'm like, it's breaking my heart knowing what they went through in those 3 years, and we're seeing that. And then I'm assuming that we'll eventually get up to the point that Wolf Song ends and then continue that story, and that only makes me curious of what the next 2 books are, of like, I think I know, if I remember correctly, I know whose point of views they are, and I'm very curious on how that's going to play out as well, and I am very enjoying it. It doesn't make any sense. I'm enjoying it a lot because, like, again, it shocked me, and I honestly, like, Gordo was a character that I did love in the first book. Like, I loved in Wolf Song, but I've grown to love him more in Raven Song. I still don't like him as much as I like Ox, but like definitely slowly working his way up there. And like all of that, and I'm just really enjoying it, and I'm planning on reading a bunch more tonight. And then I finished The Raven King tonight. I'm giving it 5 stars. I love it. I genuinely think that either this book or book 3 might be on my top 10 books of 2021, or both of them maybe. I might combine them as one, because I genuinely, like, I love it. Like, the thing is with this series, I've said this before, is like, there's like, no, I lost for words. I just love it. I love it. Like, the thing is, I can't even explain why I love it. It's just, when I think of this book and this series, I just think of, I love these characters, I love the story, and all of that. I've, like, cried almost in this book. Like, it's 5 stars. I love it. And so, yeah. And I will be studying The King's Men tomorrow. It's 8:18, so I'm going to continue reading Ravensong. But one thing, I just want to, like, I'm not going to talk about this much. I might do a whole video sitting down and talking about this situation. But right now, mentally, my mind is in the gutter. So as I mentioned earlier this week, I'm doing Nano, and I am so far behind that I am giving up. Not just because I'm so far behind, but because I don't know where my story's going, and I need to pause and work on where that's going before I write more. I might write more in this month for this Nano goal, but right now, I feel like I would have a breakdown if I started writing. There's a few cute scenes that I want to write, but that's mainly it. I rushed into Nano way too much, and I'm admitting that, and this is a learning experience. It also doesn't help that right now with Nano, I'm stressed out with other aspects of my life that are almost making it so that I can't write. Like, my mental state right now is at, I don't want to say at the worst it's ever been, but it is one of the worst mental states I've ever been in, and I'm trying to push through it. And right now, Nano isn't helping much. There's a bunch of other things on top of it. Like, it's not just that. It's like things in my personal life that I do not want to share in the vlog, to do with like my family, like my extended family, like my cousins and my uncle, and all of that, situations that I don't know enough information to share, like about to share in the first place. But mentally, all of that is exhausting me. And it's not just that, it's also like financial things. It's just everything wrapped up in one is making my mental state so fragile that I literally earlier was like, I literally spent the whole, like I took a shower earlier, my first shower in like 4 or 5 days, because I've been that like in that kind of like depressed mood of like, I don't want to do anything. Anything self-care wise would make me feel sick to my stomach to do, because my brain associates my brain doesn't work weird. I need to like rewire everything in my head, I swear. I'm probably cutting a bunch of this out. But genuinely, I'm just not mentally where I need to be, and I'm gonna try to work on that. And I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna suck. So I am going to stop talking about my mental state, because I just, again, I might do a whole video of like, I'm mentally not okay and here's why. Just because I want to be honest and open. But yeah, I'm going to read more, because that's pretty much all I want to do. I literally probably will just read all evening, well, all night, because it's already 8:22. So yeah. Okay, so yesterday was Saturday, and I totally forgot to vlog. Like, I remembered at about 10 o'clock at night after I crawled into bed, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to get out of bed and vlog. Yesterday, I spent literally like 11 a.m. to like 8 p.m. with my cousin, helping her move and clean and all of that. As for reading wise, I read maybe like 2 chapters of Ravensong, and that is it. And so yeah, I'm going to end this vlog here. I'm going to end this vlog here and then immediately start the next one, because it's Sunday and oops. But yeah, yesterday I was just exhausted. I'm exhausted today, but we'll talk about more of that in the next vlog. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's chaotic, hectic, all over the place, and filled with a lot of me being a little bit emotional. But I really hope you enjoyed this video, and bye!